All right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamers Grind podcast. It's Chaco here, and it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've come together. We've talked the talk, walked the walk. The same old, same old. How you guys doing today? Lore Master 95, King Kawante. What's going on with you, King?
I'm all right. I've been I'm finally free of Pokemon, but I feel good.
Seek all of them.
I did. I caught them all. The
Dude,
first Pokemon game where I have caught them all, or felt motivated to do so anyway. But
that's how I felt honestly about that game, because like I got to the point where like Postgame comes out and like I beat all the final trainer, and then like the phone comes out and he's like, seek all Pokemon. I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna come back to this later. Like, it's a great game. Like, it's probably like the most fun Pokemon game I've ever had. Mind you, this is like my second Pokemon game that I've ever played before physically. And it's just
I
like
think that's what made me want to finish it, because I mean, I don't feel like it's that big of a spoiler to say that was like your end goal, where in order to fight Arceus, you have to catch all the Pokemon. You don't have to complete the Pokédex; you just have to catch every single
catch them all.
Pokemon. Yeah, so once you do that, that's what you can do.
Yeah.
Everything else is like that is the least spoilery thing I could talk about compared to everything else that game has to offer. So I'm not trying to spoil anything for you, AJ, or anything, but yeah, I mean, it definitely is, in my opinion, the best Pokemon game. And I will stick by that opinion, because I've already had like disagreements with that, where someone was just like, "Yeah, I like more formulaic Pokemon games." And I was just like, "No, I can't do that. It's too slow. I can't go back to normal Pokemon anymore." Maybe Gen 5. Like I really love Gen 5. It's my favorite, but when I played this, it actually just it hit different. I guess I can just use that phrase. Like the game actually being about catching the Pokemon, like something about that was just nice. Like it making it more about the Pokemon instead of like all the other stuff. Being able to explore, it was a nice game. Well, I liked it.
Nah, I like it. You can still, you can honestly see how like good that game is, because we went straight into it right off the bat. Like, hey, this game is the one. And honestly, I've been taking it very slow. Been taking it very slow. Been only really been streaming the game itself, but I have been enjoying every goddamn moment of it. I did not know that Legends of Arceus was what I needed from a Pokemon game. I was very skeptical going into it. I originally thought the game was going to be
Everybody was
hot garbage.
I thought it was initial trailers where that Chimeco was running at 2 frames per second.
It looked like a PowerPoint.
Yeah, it was bad.
It did.
I'm really glad that it turned out well, because I want another game like it, whether it's just like a new Pokemon game that uses the formula, or they just use the whole Legends moniker again and go into like the lore. Like they could do a Gen 5 one where they show Kiram when he was just one dragon instead of being split into 3. I mean, they could do a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy, and I think as a starting point, it's good, because of course it doesn't have gyms. The trainers are kind of boo boo, where they're not like the best in terms of just like the trainer fights and everything. But I think just as a starting point for this formula, it's good.
I mean,
I want to see them do it again,
yes.
or add DLC or something along those lines. I think there was rumors of DLC, so I'd like that. Be able to go back to it.
So I can definitely see them doing DLC. There's still a lot of, keep in mind, Sinnoh region is pretty. Sinnoh region was a big region when you played the Diamond Pro games, and then after you had like Mount Coronet. You had Mount Coronet where you'd like find Pokemon like Heatran and stuff like that. There was Cresselia, Darkrai, and I'm pretty sure like they can definitely spin some things with like the lore of those Pokemon and stuff like that. But it was really refreshing, because in every Pokemon game, you get the beginning starts. You hear the dun 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 dun, and you see the fucking professor right there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. Moments in, you're just like, well, here's your Pokemon. I need you to go ahead, do this get this Pokedex done, and you're on your way. But you're focusing on the gym challenge. Sure, you can do the Pokedex. You can do the Pokedex. Maybe you have some kind of, if you're like a completionist and you really want to get everything, then sure, you'll do the full Pokedex and maybe the National Dex to go through that trouble. But generally speaking, the Pokedex has always felt like a secondary objective. It's never been something that you needed to do to complete the game. And
That's what I felt like. It's like the catchphrase in the very beginning was always "gotta catch 'em all," and I like that this has sort of gone back to that because yeah, you're right. All of the games so far have basically just seemed like complete the gym challenges, get 8 badges, beat the champion, and then you beat the game and never go back to it. And I know there are people out there, they like to go and catch every Pokemon. It's like, I just can't do that anymore with the old formula because I went and played Diamond and Pearl, not the DS games, but the remakes immediately after this one because somebody gave it to me for free for Christmas. And so I was just like, oh, I actually have a reason to play this game now. And it was painful because I was just like trying to catch Pokemon and I was just like, man, I can't like see them on the map. Of course, that's just like DS didn't have that. I'm not saying that's a
Right.
flaw of the game. It's just like definitely difficult to go back to, or it's easy to miss stuff because I'm just like, oh, I could have caught this Pokemon back in like Eterna Forest or something, and I just would never know because they had a low encounter rate or something. It's not to say that Legends Arceus doesn't have that. Like I tried forever to find a Pichu, but I mean, still feel like it was a lot faster to find one than it would be in like some of the stuff in Diamond Pearl
Most
remakes.
definitely. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that they're making you focus on catching these Pokemon. I feel like originally I was like, hey, you know what? The fact that you're not really doing gym battles, we're losing. I feel like we were losing one of the core aspects of the game, but it didn't feel like that at all. In fact, forget like battles are actually like the secondary thing of this game. You can do battles, and sometimes you're forced to do them, but very rarely is it actually like mandatory that you have to battle. In fact, it's so much more exploring. It's so much more like, hey, there's this area of the map that I need to explore because I know I'll find something there that I didn't see before, and then you'll be like, oh, I don't have the way to travel through water, and you'll come back 10 hours later, and you're like, it's time. And then all of a sudden you find a Pokemon that's like way stronger than your whole party. I found a level 60 Infernape after getting Basculegion. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, my Pokemon are not that strong. But the point is,
Or
like,
just starting the game and finding a level 40 Rapidash and start
yes!
shooting
It
lasers at
it
you.
starts shoot lasers at you. And you're like, what the hell? It's
Not
that,
happy.
everything about that was amazing. I loved the idea that like I can get lost exploring the world of Pokemon. We don't have the standard routes where you're just like going from you're going to X place to Y place. You are literally just saying, here you go. You have your objective. You can finish it whenever you want, but go ahead, explore the world, do what you think. Now, when it came to research objectives, I also thought that was a very cool thing. I thought that was also a very cool little thing where it's like, hey, your goal is not to just catch these Pokemon. Your goal is to make sure we understand how these Pokemon are, because we want to begin having people start building those bonds with Pokemon with the normal people all around. But we can't do that if we don't have the information. I do think that what I would love, and this was me like kind of thinking, incorporating a little bit more of like the uniqueness that is provided in a game like Pokemon Snap into a game like this, where you can
I
see
was
Pokemon.
I was actually gonna bring that up if nobody else did because I felt like
Ooh, great minds think alike. Yes,
no, I
sir.
had that. Yeah, I had that exact same idea because I was like, I was playing the game. I was just like, there's something missing in terms of just like the way they function in their environment because a lot of the times they're kind of just standing there
Yeah,
and then they walk around, which is fine. It like serves its purpose, but I was just like, Snap definitely does have a lot of like little scenarios or just shows them doing stuff. Like you could just show like the Rapidash we were talking about earlier. Like, what if it was just eating grass or like something simple?
Just
I mean, I
eating-
know that's like why they don't have it is because there's like over 200 Pokemon, and they would have to put
yes.
even more animations in the game, and they put a lot of new animations in the game already. Like, I remember when I beat the game and I seen all the modelers, and I was like, thank you. This is like there's a lot of them, but yeah, they would have to do even more work. But I think just as a improvement, it would definitely be cool to see them do sort of stuff like they do in Snap, where they're just kind of doing stuff like a pincer fighting a Heracross in the wild or something weird. Like, I don't know.
Yes,
Like,
yes, 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 yes,
I
yes,
think that would
yes.
be like really cool to see.
Monster
Is
Hunter style,
Dude,
like kind of
sort of
like
kind
Monster
of
Hunter, like some,
yeah,
like
just
yeah,
to
like
add
Pokemon
more
fighting over territory.
to yeah, like add more to your experience, because it'll the Pokédex entries will be like it'll do something like this with like, or it'll talk about a Pokemon interacting with another one. Like, imagine, a Happiny actually going around trying to find stones that it can use to sort of act like it's a Chansey or something. Like, I would like that a lot. But
yes.
I know why it's not there. I just think that it would be a general improvement to the game if it did exist.
As you said earlier, this game's a very good stepping stone, in the right direction for where I think Pokemon should go. And I think I'm in the middle, and this is me leaking. I'm in the middle of like writing it. I'm in the middle of writing a script for my thoughts on like the game itself. My thoughts of the game itself. I've been trying to flesh out all my thoughts and put it all together. And the one word I always come back to is feel. I think what this game, what I like about games is when I can feel invested in a game, when it feels like I'm the one playing, I'm the one in the fucking game I'm the one catching these Pokemon, I'm the one experiencing it all. And I think that like when you think of overall feel, I think of like the game OST, the visuals, not just like the spectacle of the HD and all this shit, but the things you can see. It's like that idea of seeing a pincer fighting a Heracross, or they put a thing where it said Raichu, one of Raichu's main things is enough to kill like a Copperjaw from my region, from my homeland. And the people put a whole bunch of different posts about it, where like Copperjaw, a Pokemon from, I forgot what region it's from.
It's Galar.
Galar?
Basically,
Okay,
India.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be like
An
mortal
Indian
enemies.
elephant.
An Indian
Or
elephant.
that's what it's based off of. And
Yeah,
then
it's like a
they
mortal
sort of, like,
enemy with
put them together.
Raichus. Yeah. I think.
Or no, it's not like an enemy, but they said like a Raichu's voltage is enough to kill the Copperajah. I think that's basically what the entry says. But yeah,
Yeah.
but imagine like being able to see that, or like seeing them square off and then try to go catch them or something. Like, that'd be cool.
Exactly. I think there was that little bit of like magic that would have added so much, and like that would have made it a perfect game for me. And there's like other little things that I think I would have definitely enjoyed. I think a lot of the and mind you, I haven't 100% of the game. I still have a lot that needs to go through. But I'm pretty far into it. I think the missions were kind of fluff. They were there, but none of them really felt urgent, and they didn't really feel too unique. I think there's a lot of room they could work with the kind of missions that are there. I definitely think there's a lot more they could work with that. I said it once before. I've said it on my stream, and I think that this definitely would have been a good test to try out maybe voice acting.
No, I was gonna say that too.
Oh my god!
'Cause,
Great minds, great minds.
You haven't got to the end of the game yet, but basically there is a big bad, and then he's talking, but nothing's coming out of his mouth. And you know how anime villains, their eyes widen and they smile and they might like put their arms up in the air, but in that game there's no words, so Big Bad is just And then that,
Exactly.
and I'm just like, that was one of the first times where I was just like, you know what? It would just be great if you were just screaming at me right now, but you're not. You're just mouthing. And
Making
then
a
like
Drax
things
impression.
are happening. There's like, you know, pre-rendered. Well, I don't think it's pre-rendered, but there's stuff happening, and then he's just not talking. I was like, wow, this is kind of awkward looking. Like, I don't know,
Yes, I
but I think
think
they should have tried out voice acting for sure.
I think from the very first moment when I saw Celine, Commander Celine come through, I'm just like, she said she gave you your mission. She said, "Hey, I'm down for you to do this, but if you fail, you're out." I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, if you guys have seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, if that was General Armstrong as that woman's voice, I could see it. I could see it where having a strong, confident character, like being like Celine and stuff like that. This game is like surprisingly very character driven. You have a lot of scenes with Akari, the professor, where they're all connecting with each other. You have a lot of instances where you're speaking with Adaman and Irida and stuff like that. And I feel that like that, while it's not mandatory that voice acting be in a game, it's that little bit of spice that does so much. It does so much for it all. I think it could definitely take a. I don't like comparing it to Breath of the Wild, but I definitely could take a couple pages from that book because I feel like they added voice acting where it mattered in that game. The game does not have too much voice acting, but
I don't think you should feel bad because at this point, like, I know people get mad and they're just like, "Why are you comparing everything to Breath of the Wild?" But I think at this point, people have to understand that Breath of the Wild set a standard, and you
absolutely,
just have to accept that. It's like how Mario set standards for all platformers back in the day, and everything copied it. It's like you can't just get mad at somebody for comparing something to Mario because that's what's happening. It's like, so I don't think you should feel bad about that.
and all in all, this game, it showed a side. Like I said, I didn't realize I wanted a Pokemon game like this, but when I am out there in the field, I want to stealth catch a Pokemon, and all of a sudden I get caught and it wants to kill me, and I'm like screaming, terrified. I'm like, I don't want to get hit, and you're just dodging and you're running away, and then you're just planning out how am I gonna catch this? So I'm gonna throw an Oran Berry right there, then go behind it, then maybe I'll get the catch, or maybe I'm gonna go for a fight there and do a little bit of damage, bring it down to low,
Or bully it.
Bully it. You could bully it, but point is,
That's what I did. I bullied my champ. They like pop out of the Pokeball, and then the game will sort of do a thing where they run forward because they don't want you to throw a Pokeball at it again right away.
yeah.
They just do it anyway because you're just like, well, I'm just gonna run after you and throw another one. And just keep doing it.
But the point is that in itself, that was so fun. I haven't. The last Pokemon game I played, in which I have Brilliant Diamond, but last Pokemon game I really played was Sword and Shield, and while I didn't, well, I did.
He is right. It's not bad, but he is right.
He's correct. While I did enjoy the Nuzlocking the game, that was an added challenge that I did for myself. The game itself was not that great, so and it really did turn me. It really did put me in a position where I'm just like, you know what? If I missed out on another Pokemon game, I won't.
You wouldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was how I felt initially when I saw the game. Like I remember we had that discussion about it on the podcast, and everybody was just kind of like, you like sort of like shrug your shoulders because it's just like you. I didn't really expect anything from Game Freak, especially with Gen 8, because Gen 8 was sort of just like this game feels like a product of what they were trying with that game. And I get like the wild areas and stuff were supposed to be similar to this, but they were bad. Like I did not like the wild area stuff. And
very,
then
very bad.
I think what made me realize like immediately why Arceus was special to me was when I went up to try and catch a Pokemon, and it just happened immediately. Like I didn't have to get in the battle, I didn't have to wait long or anything like that. I was just like, wow, this is a lot faster, or if I want to get in the battle, I have the option to, like, whether or not I want to battle and go through all of that. And that's just not something the old games have. It just speeds up the process so much that I was just like, this really did. No matter if you consider it a spin-off or not, this is the natural evolution of Pokemon, and that's just genuinely what I think. Like, everything just seems like a natural flow and progression to the next big thing. Just like I feel like when Kirby comes out, it's going to be the exact same thing. But I was not expecting them to iterate on the formula and have it feel so fresh and different. So I'm very happy with it, and I'm surprised because I've never like felt this way about Pokemon. Like, I've always liked it, but not as much as other people, and I always wondered why other people liked it as much. But now I kind of feel like I'm sort of with them in terms of that excitement for the first time, and it feels good.
Most definitely. I think that game in itself, so much. But Kendall, me and Kwante, we found a lot to say. I know you've beaten the game. Is that correct?
Oh no, I beat the game, but I didn't beat the game.
No, there's a lot of post game.
There's a lot of post game. It's when I say it feels like Breath of the Wild, right? Because like there is post game after we beat Ganon, technically. So like there's DLC and stuff like that. But like when I got to the post game and I got to the very last moment when Arceus called me up on the phone and said, "Hey, fucko, you gotta seek all Pokemon," put the game down because I was like, I could come back at any point in time and feel like I'm having just as much fun as I was before. I didn't want to rush it. Because once I complete the game, it's like, what am I going to do after? Am I going to wait endlessly for DLC and stuff like that? Because the game is really fun. Like, it took me like a week and a half to like beat the game, like the normal campaign, and then like an extra 3 days to get the message saying seek all Pokemon. So like, and I ain't spined all Pokemon yet, so it's just like, okay, cool. It's like my only purpose in the game so far is just to finish the decks, and like I said, like like a handful of people said the same thing, but like. My experience with the game is like, this is my second ever Pokemon game. I have no attachment to the series whatsoever because as a kid and growing up, I hated RPGs that would just have enemies that would spawn instantly. That's why at first I was like, oh, Sword and Shield, it's pretty cool. You can see the enemies pop out of the grass. And then the game was ass. And then the game just started to shit everywhere. It's just like consistent, like it was bad. And it's like, oh, let's split, like, let's give the hot sex thick mama in Shield, and then let's give the one that kicks in Sword. That's why we can do like the different kinds of like
the DLC.
The DLC that became one game, but now it's not one game. You know what I mean? Before the DLC came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I guess the only difference is just finding different gym leaders, whatever. But like, it's like after playing Shield, I was like, I don't think I ever want to play another Pokemon game again because like I didn't understand the appeal. But Arceus was really fun. It's captivating. It keeps you motivated if you're like at the early stages and you're still like really broke. It forces you at some point in time to go outside and get your cat.
It did. I mean, it did do that. I will admit.
Hello, cat.
It'll force you to like to go gather materials, especially if you're looking for Pokeballs and stuff. Like I remember looking for Pokeballs at one point.
Early on in the game, it was tough.
And I was like, why the fuck am I running out of Pokeballs? And I was like, oh wait, I know, I'm using all my nuts. I'm eating them alive, and so I'm just like chucking them. And I'm just like, wow, I have to go like actually pay attention to the environment. I can't just glaze over the fact that like, oh, there's trees. I have plenty of these berries. Or any of that stuff like that, you know what I mean, or whatever. So you don't want to stack up the satchel, but no, it becomes like you gotta grind for it almost. I don't mind grinding at all, but I was like, the materials were fun. Making the stuff was really cool. I like that a lot. The game itself is extremely solid, and I recommend it to a handful of friends that are into like video games and stuff like that. It's like, get Pokemon Arceus. Like it's really fun. Like it's a fun Pokemon game. It's like very rarely do I recommend video games to people because some people turn their nose up, but like it's gonna be one of them. So
another thing that I don't know if you guys have thought about or not, but I do like that everything about it sort of fits within the natural context of the Pokemon world. It's just like the crafting system. It's just like you could say, oh, they just shoehorned that in there because most open world games have a crafting system, but they made it make sense within the context of that world. So it's just like, oh, Pokemon, like Pokeballs were just invented, so they're just you can just make
Wood.
them. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just get like wood or nuts, and you just make them, and you have all this stuff, and it's just like, of course, it's not as good versions of what we're used to in Pokemon games, but it's just like, yeah, these are just things that the trainers just kind of went around making, like in the wild and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. No, it's a good game. It's sort of one of those things where
So,
I watched a Spider-Man movie once, and they're just like, well, if you expect to be disappointed, you won't be disappointed. And luckily, this did not happen. It was pretty good, but I feel like that's why I liked it so much, because I expected nothing, and
That
it was,
too.
it was a good game.
That
So-
too. Now there's that fear where it's like now we have like an expectation. So whatever they do with this franchise going forward, it's like there's gonna be there's a level that they need to meet. And I really think that after this game, they definitely put a lot of care into this. I think they're gonna see how good people have received this, and I really do hope they look at this and say, you know what, going forward, whatever level of care we put into this game, we need to double it, we need to triple it for whatever the next big game we do is. Yeah. So I'm very happy. That game has been great. I'm almost finished with it, and from there I still got some more to go.
I will say, especially since both of you haven't gotten there, the post game stuff is very good. Just like finding legendaries, all that stuff. Like, you'll have a good time.
oh no, Quante, I've gotten to the point where I fought the bad, right? And then like I've already gotten to that point, but it won't let me progress because I haven't found all the Pokemon yet. Like,
No,
I got all the
there's more
special...
stuff that you can do. Like
Really?
yeah, like after you do that per se, you're basically just kind of going around finding legendaries. And
I already did that. I found legendaries already.
Well,
Like,
yeah, there's
after
still.
you fight.
Oh,
Dip, right? Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah, you did that. Well, that was my favorite part of the game, was that.
Interesting.
So, yeah, the bean dip that he's talking about is really funny. I like him. So.
I like how he understood what he meant by bean dip, but
No, because he's a fuck, but he's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I'll if you do stream that part of the game, I'll show up to watch it.
man.
Basically no, I'm not gonna say anything else.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, no, don't say anything.
No, I'm not gonna say anything because it was a genuinely cool part of the game. I did like it.
But all right, I mean, enough about. I mean, we have a lot to say, and don't worry, we can probably touch back into it once we all finish the game, all get our time. But Nintendo's been making a couple moves lately. That game was one of them.
Shit everywhere.
That game was one of them, and there's so much more that they've hit us with.
I cried. I'm just gonna put that out there because
oh my gosh,
Mario Strikers came back, and they made me cry for the second time in like less than a year, and I'm very upset about it because I've wanted Mario Strikers for so long. I love Charge. It was like one of my favorite Wii games to play like competitively, and it's back.
You want to know something? Never played Strikers in my life.
You should.
I will.
If there's ever a way for you to like play Strikers or like do some sort of thing like online, it's probably one of the most fun with like a Mario spin-off like sports game thing.
probably
I've ever
partial.
had.
I don't want to get. My biggest thing, dude. My biggest thing, right, is that if this game becomes competitive in any way, shape, or form, and I play it, and I'm actually okay, I can never lose. I just can't. I cannot lose. It's not like the factoid of I can't lose because I'm that good. It's the I can't lose because I don't want to hear, oh, Kendall, you're the sports guy. Don't you like football? I'll get so mad.
Oh my god.
I'll get so mad.
It's the different kind of football though, so you'll be fine.
No,
that game was just It had so much personality. It had like a lot of tech, which was weird. It was just like a strangely deep game. Like it was one of those games where you could just go online and somebody will just ruthlessly destroy you. Like they won't care. It was bad. Like not bad, but just like how bad you would get beat going online in that game. Like people took it seriously. And then they had a thing. It was like called Striker of the Day. So you could see the person who just was beating everybody's ass. Like, and then I remember I was playing one day, and then I got matched up with the Striker of the Day, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, I think I took a game off of him, or like I played him once, and I was just like, oh man, I beat him. But yeah, it was fun. I was really young when that game came out too. Still, like probably like fifth or sixth grade. I don't remember, but it's been that long since we gotten another one. So, like, I was really happy.
I definitely played. I played OG Strikers. I didn't play Charged, but I do know that like it. You know, it's been some time since we see the franchise. So them coming out with Battle League, Strikers Battle League. That I don't think anybody was prepared. You know, let's be completely honest. I think everybody saw a random Nintendo Direct and was just like, oh, cool, we'll check it out. What could they possibly announce now? And sure enough, like starting it off, like that was like the third or fourth game they announced, and I'm just like, what the heck? And they hit us with that. They hit us with Mario Strikers. They also hit us with a whole bunch of other titles. Like there's a lot of throwback games that were like released way before that are either getting remastered or remade in their own way. I know that they've already been talking about Advance Wars for some time, but I saw another one, Live Alive. That one interested me so much.
Super fucking good. That looks super good.
I
never played Live Alive, and I was like, oh my god, like that game looks really sick. I wanna watch the trailer again just to like 100% confirm I'm gonna get it. Because when I watched it the first time, I was like, damn, this looks like it could slap.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that Square is utilizing their HD 2D stuff and not just using it for like. I mean, I think using it for remakes is really good because it means that they don't have to make like a Final Fantasy VII remake every single time or something like that. You know, like they can still stay true to the original game while injecting some personality into it. Absolutely. And so I'm glad they're doing that. I'm just angry that we didn't get one for Final Fantasy VI.
Oh man!
For HD2D, you mean? Okay.
Yeah, because they're still doing like the pixel remaster for it, which, whatever. I mean, they did the pixel remasters for all the other games, but I feel like if they just did 1 through 5 and then gave 6 the HD2D treatment, then I would have liked that. If they still do it for Chrono Trigger, I'll forgive them, but I don't know.
Listen, if they did it for Chrono Trigger, that would be insane. I'd be really happy. Yeah. I'd be really happy about that.
I would love that. I would like. I love Final Fantasy VI, but Chrono Trigger is probably now like one of my favorite RPGs. So I'd love that if they did that. But yeah, I'm glad they're utilizing that engine and making use of it.
No, yeah, and there was that. They went more into triangle strategy, which that game I originally was like, whatever. But the closer we get to triangle strategy come down, the more I'm interested. The more I'm just like, it looks so.
I'm the same way. It looked like at first I was like, it's like a Diet Coke Fire Emblem and shit like that. And now it's like you're hearing all this bullshit. And like I work at GameStop, so like I see that commercial ever so often, every fucking like 15 minutes, every 15, 30 minutes. I'm like, damn, dude, like they're fighting for their lives out there. Crops are gonna die and families are gonna starve. And I'm like, dude, is it really that serious? It's like I'm. It's like at first I didn't give a shit, right, dude? Yes. You didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit. So like now I'm obligated to care because triangle strategy looks like it could be fun. He doesn't like triangle strategy. He's a dickhead. So
yes, triangle strategy.
I think I need to play the demo first for me to care because I still am in that. I'm in
I don't want to do it.
Situation right now where every time I see it, I'm just like, it's not bringing me in. So I think I need to play the demo to really feel something.
I haven't played the demo, but I'm also somebody that's like, whenever I play a new game, I want to go in fresh. I want to have my own thought process. If I feel like I played the demo, then I've already have my idea of what the game's going to be, and I don't care too much for
But
that.
sometimes that's a good thing, and that's
True.
why Square does it, because they did that with Dragon Quest XI, and I had never played Dragon Quest before, and I needed that game when I played the demo. I was just like, this is amazing, and they do that, especially with like niche RPGs, because they know that like a demo is free, so you have no reason not to try it, and then they get all these people hooked on it. And yeah, they got me.
Oh man.
Then
So
Chrono Cross, I can play Chrono Cross.
Chrono
Like
Cross,
I was
Chrono
like, I
Cross,
guess
yes.
just in time because I just finished Chrono Trigger not long ago, and then I don't really know what to expect from that game. I'm just gonna buy it.
I mean, I've never played it originally, so I wouldn't know. I don't even know if it's. I don't even know if it's a direct sequel though. Is it a direct
It
sequel?
is. It
Okay.
is. It's just that the battle system I think is like different, and I think my least favorite part about it. I mean, I know they probably couldn't do it again, but I don't like that it doesn't have the Akira Toriyama designs again, because that's like one of my favorite parts of the original game. It's just like this looks like Dragon Ball. Well, yeah, I wish that it had this for Chrono Cross as well, but I mean, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing most of the stuff they showed. Kirby like was amazing, and I was not that
I'm in the
game.
game.
That game was like weird because it blew me away because I wasn't expecting. I'm not gonna say I wasn't expecting much because of course when I think of Kirby, I think it's gonna be a fun, good game.
Yeah.
But the amount of stuff that they added, I was like blown away. I was just like, what? They have like upgradable copy abilities, like the whole mouthful mode. I was just like, they're actually just,
Mouthful mode.
Bro,
like they're
Kirby, what
going
that mouth do, bro? Like,
absolutely like mental with that game. I was just like, holy crap! Like they're doing a lot, and I mean, I'm resident Kirby fan, so I was really excited when I saw that. I was just like, man, this is actually going to be something special.
that last trailer definitely. As funny as the trailer was, I'm like, you know what? I was already planning to buy the game when it came out, but this like solidified that purchase for me. Like I think the game's gonna be very fun, and I can't wait. Like after Legends, that's gonna be the next game I like. The next like big game I get to stream, and I'm very looking forward to that. They had a whole bunch of other remasters, remasters for there are a remake for Front Mission, which I haven't played the original, but I know it's an old game that they decided to remade.
Literally nobody was excited for that. I'm just
Nobody.
gonna say that. I'm not speaking for everybody. Like maybe the people that played it, but even just general. Because sometimes what I'll do after directs is just go back and watch other people watch it. Sometimes,
Yeah.
not all of them, but just be like, oh, what was this person's thoughts? And then they just wouldn't say anything, or like they wouldn't know what it was.
There's a community from somewhere. You can dig deep. There's a community somewhere. But I'm just saying, they remade Front Mission, The Force Unleashed, which like that one like I'm like, wait, people still play The Force Unleashed, and
but it was the Wii version.
It is the Wii version, but it's still the Force.
I heard the Wii version was kind of boo boo, so I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't play the original. The only game I think everybody can universally agree that you could have left that one in the drafts. Kingdom Hearts Integrum Masterpiece. It's called for the cloud. Whatever Kingdom Hearts for the cloud. You could have left that one in the drafts. You could have left that one in the drafts. I hate it here.
What are we agreeing on?
That game.
I mean, like none of those games are good in the first place, so they should.
Hey, relax, dog. Relax. Calm down. Relax.
He spoke the truth, but no one wanted to hear what he had to say.
Anyways, they also brought a remaster for Klonoa. Did anybody expect that?
Yeah, because it was leaked.
Oh come on!
No, I do love Klonoa though. Klonoa is great.
Never played it.
It's I don't even really know how to describe it. It's almost like 2.5D, but not like the game is 3D, but going from a sideways perspective. But it's like you can interact with all of the environment. Like you can make him look back, and you can like throw stuff in the background, and it'll like I don't know.
You can make him turn, look for stuff in the background.
Like his back will just be like there, and he'll just be looking. And then like if you have an enemy and you throw it, like it'll go in the background. It's like closest thing I can compare it to is Yoshi's Crafted World. Like how you could throw stuff in the background. It's sort of like that, but it's like the progenitor to that. So it's just Klonoa is really cool, and I think he has a really neat character design, and it's really nice.
I like Klonoa's design.
It's a Sonic character. It's a Sonic.
I knew you were gonna say that.
He is.
Like the first time I played Klonoa, I played Klonoa 2 in a car. Like my dad had a PlayStation 2 in his car for some reason.
You know what?
He had a PS2 like demo disc, and it had Klonoa 2 on it, and it only had the first level, and I used to play it, and that was like my experience with Klonoa when I was younger. And I did play the Wii remake of Klonoa 1, so I have played the first game, but haven't played the second one, so it'll be neat.
Oh man, that's pretty much it for like the big remasters. I think there was also yes, another remaster that's really big. Not really a remaster, but a re-release was Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. Cool. It's on Nintendo Switch Online now, though. Mother 3 will never happen, and it's okay. I've accepted that the Mother 3 will never happen, and
I think at this point, since they keep doing this, of course, it's like their reasoning could just be that there's no GBA games, but I think at this point, they need to remake it. That's what I'm hoping for. Like, of course, I would be really happy if they released it and everybody got to play it, but I want them to remake that game, especially after one of these. Somebody released a video recently where they made like a little video of them recreating moments from the game, but they made it in like the clay style, like
yes, I saw that earlier today.
Yeah. And then when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, now I need a remake of Mother 3 more than ever. It's like that would be amazing.
Absolutely, that game. We all got our hopes up. I got our hopes up, and obviously I was a little bit pissed that they didn't say anything about Mother 3. But then again, I remember right after I saw because I followed Shigesato Itoi, and he puts out a video, and of course it's a marketing video, but you could tell like he talks about how much he loves Mother, he loves Earthbound and stuff like that. I'm just like that's his child, man. Earthbound is his freaking child, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. Earthbound is still one of my favorite games. One of my maybe my top 15 now, because I have like a whole bunch of new additions. But like, it's still within one of the top games I've played. Easily one of my favorite RPG games, because like that game is it's so good.
You like Earthbound?
Oh. The cat does not approve, but it's okay. That the cat will approve is some of the. There were a couple big headlines. Obviously, we just talked about Mario Strikers. Fire Emblem Warriors, 3 Hopes.
I'm excited.
It looked nice. I knew a couple friends that actually loved the first Warriors game. So
I thought it was better than Hyrule Warriors. I know a lot of people don't agree, and a lot of people will bring up the whole thing where a lot of the characters were kind of just clones of each other.
Right.
But I thought the overall gameplay was like significantly better than Hyrule Warriors. And I guess I mean this before they released like
DLC.
No, Age of Clams, because Age of Clams is actually good. Yeah, Age of Clams is pretty good, but I still really just enjoyed the original Fire Emblem Warriors. That was another one of those games that I kind of just had zero expectations for, and I was just like, wow, this is kind of good. So if they just expand on that gameplay and then don't make any of the characters exactly the same, then I think that'll be a good game.
Absolutely, I think the game actually looked pretty, and I think that's a very, for a game like that, it has to look appealing. I like what they did for like character redesign outfits, and we'll see how that game goes.
Well, I think they look like that because I noticed that they're younger still.
Yeah, they're still before that time skip.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that it takes place during that in between period of the time skip where I don't think this is spoilers now. That game has been out for a long time, but like after Byleth falls in the chasm, and then they all go off and do their own things for 5 years. I think it probably takes place in like that 5 year period is where this game takes place. Is what I'm thinking because they all still look really young.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. That was another big game. This may not be a big game, but this was a game that I was actually surprised to see, and I'd like to see more. I'm talking about, where is it? Nintendo Switch Sports, baby. Let's fucking go. That game looks so fire. I actually liked it a lot.
Why are you not playing it now?
This is it. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm out here getting gaslit in my own podcast. I hate it here.
Fucking scared dapper, dude.
No. I think that listen, I probably won't buy it. But it looked like, the Wii Sports games were always like fun games to play with friends, and it looked like that it was gonna be just as fun. Now, I think that should be a game that like ends up eventually becoming like, hey, you buy a Switch, you get yourself a Nintendo Switch Sports, or you put it at a low price, so then you can kind of justify it, just like how 1-2 Switch or Snipper Clips and stuff like that. Put it in that category of games where it's like they're not that expensive, but they are fun to play. They're fun for the price. But I don't know.
Nintendo's not going to do that.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's going to be $60 game.
That's going to be a big 60 bones, baby. Big $60.
And you know what? And then they won't make another sports games because we're not. But I don't see.
I am paying $60 for Mario Strikers. I don't care. I'd pay $100 for Mario Strikers.
It does not matter. It does not matter. That's the point of the return.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't buy Nintendo Switch Sports, but put Mario in it.
For Mario in it? Oh no,
we're
souls have been sold for this. So there's that, and then, and obviously there was Mario Kart 8 DLC. People want 9. We all want it, but
no.
The DLC thing, I actually wasn't too opposed to it.
Because you
that's
suck.
A whole game. That's a whole. You shut up.
No.
No. Every time, dude.
Oh, brother, you stink.
No, yeah. You know what? I'll put my foot down. Yeah, I like it. I liked it a lot because you know what? At the end of the day, it's what $25 for like 40 tracks in total.
No, that is good. I don't dislike the concept. I dislike Mario Kart 8.
Quante, we're never gonna get Mario Kart Wii. We're never gonna get Mario Kart Wii.
I miss Mario Kart Wii.
Me too. Okay, me too. We gotta move on.
That was my.
Gotta move on, Grandpa. We gotta move on, Grandpa. We can't.
I don't want to move on. It was the best.
It was actually Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii is the game that I came home in high school to boot up and play before I even fucking got onto
just about like every day.
Every day we played Mario Kart.
It was so good. And then this game is not good.
Because there's no momentum. You can't shift your fat.
I mean, I wish, that bear guy in the Smash community, like, that guy makes Mario Kart 8 look so fun. Like, I don't know how he's doing any of that. Of course, I can admit that I suck. Like, that's probably the reason why I can't do anything in that game. Because I'm just not good at it. But at the same time, I just have much more fun with Mario Kart Wii. But those stages...
You can shift your fat.
Yeah. And those stages will be good. It'll extend the longevity of the game. But I want a new Mario Kart game.
I do too. I actually think.
We're not getting new Mario Kart game.
Oh no, we're not getting it.
Next.
Put the 8 on its side.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Infinite.
Yeah, Mario Kart Infinite.
Oh my gosh. And then we have. Absolutely. But then we have the last big game, and I wasn't expecting them to put out a trailer. I know they've been talking about it for some time. There's been rumors here and there, but then they dropped Xenoblade 3.
Oh.
I'm very happy.
I am
Never.
very happy.
I played Xenoblade 2 for 10 hours.
Shut up.
Die. I will give that game a chance after I beat Xenoblade 1.
That's fair.
Xenoblade 2 is a very good game.
It's very
And
good.
I feel like I have to say this to people because my friend Cam, who was here, who recorded like another Nintendo Direct with us, because he tried to play it and he was like, I don't know if I like this, and it's just like there's just big boobies everywhere, and it's just like you get past the boobies and you're in for a very good time, and then he started to love the game. So get over the character designs and all the like weird anime stuff, and then it's a really good game. It's just so hard to recommend to people because of that, because that's all they see is just like
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's hanging out. Them chicks are hanging out, dude. What do you want? You want to hide it? You can't. It's too big. He's
you
like
can't hide it.
6.
You could put tights on her and then it's gone. You just wipe it off, pretend it's not there.
No, fuck no. That's why I was like, I am not saying I'm opposed to Xenoblade 3 because I got Xenoblade 1 the remastered on the Switch for Christmas, and I'm gonna play it on stream one eventually. So like, I'm gonna have to give Xenoblade 2 a chance. Like, I'm not saying I'm opposed to playing the game. I'm gonna give it an actual like second chance because I honestly, it wasn't like, oh, the tits, they were everywhere. I can't. Oh, my eyes. It wasn't that. it was the fact that I felt like I was in tutorial for 8,000 years. That's what it felt like. But
I mean,
guarantee
the
that
tutorial is like, I get that, but like once you get to explore, it's like that in the first game too, though. Like that's what I don't understand. Like
I haven't played the first.
I thought you meant you played the first game too.
I did. I
And
only played the second one.
like there's not that many tutorials. It's like it's fine. Like I think once you get past the tutorials and everything, it's really really fun game.
I think my problem.
Powdered eggshells if it's ass.
I don't think it's ass though.
I don't think the game is not bad. I don't think so at all.
Like the game is great. Like if you don't like it, then that's like your opinion. But I do think it's like one of the best JRPGs of all time. I just think that's undeniable. And I think that like the third one will more than likely be good too.
Okay.
When I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I actually enjoyed it a lot. Why I like that game mostly for is its battle system. When you finally get to the point where you have control of the battle system, you can do everything you want, then I feel like it's so interactive, it's so fun. You're constantly just trying to get your chains off and get him done. I feel my problem with Xenoblade is Xenoblade 2, excuse me, is it took a little bit long to get to that point. It took much long. Like, there's 8 chapters in the game. It took you couldn't have that full control until chapter 4, chapter 5, and I'm just like,
I don't think it's quite that long. Like I think it's like when you get to Uriah, which is like the second area that you go to. I'm pretty sure.
It definitely was a little.
It definitely takes a little while, but I don't think it takes quite that long. And the only thing you really get is the ability to topple.
Yeah.
And I mean,
unless if
of course you're still getting kind of used to the game at that point.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I guess how early you get access to that is also dependent on what kind of rolls you got with your blades. Because if you got good rolls, if you got good rolls, then maybe you got really good blades early on. Who knows? But
yeah, I mean everybody's seed is gonna be different, and they're gonna experience different things at the start. But I do think that it's good. It does have a slow start, but I think at least you're not waiting 20 to 30 hours before you're having fun with the game, where I felt like that with Tales of Arise, where it's just kind of that was a slow start for me. I know that game is good, and I know you love it. That I had a hard time.
I'll have to say this for the other time. I'll have to say this one for the other time. I get what you mean about it having a slow start. I think I was able to. I enjoyed the lore so much of the game that it didn't feel like a slow start for me. But I also feel like that's a me, that's like a me thing. I know it's not like a general person thing. But that aside, you know, seeing from what I played in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I enjoyed my experience with that game. And what I saw with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, one, I did appreciate the character designs not being as anime as 2 was. Because while it didn't really bother me, at times it was like a little bit jarring, especially while I haven't beaten number 1. I did like go through a lot of like a good portion of like the early parts of the game, and like it was definitely it was actually a big shift in like design. So seeing them kind of go more towards that like one Chronicles X design for characters.
I think it kind of just combines the designs from 1 and 2. Really, it's like a mix of the two because the DLC for Xenoblade 1, like Future Connected.
Yeah.
It sort of looks like that with like Shulk's new outfit. He has like a light up belt, and I don't know. It sort of looks like more like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the designs in 2 either go from being really good to just why, like, 'cause they have like, a bunch of different designers did like the different blades and stuff. For
Which
that
was
game.
so cool. Which was so cool.
Some look really cool, and then I just I just don't understand some of them. Like Pyra and Mithra, I think are fine, but like that's just one of those games that you wouldn't be able to play in front of your parents. It's just like, hey, son, what you playing? Oh, it's like that sort of
it's like it's just so I get exactly what you mean because like you go from freaking Boreas, if you remember Boreas. That's one of my favorite ones. You go from Boreas to Dahlia, and you're like, what happened? Where did everything? What changed?
Everybody likes to point out Dahlia, and I do think that she's just egregious. Like it's, I can't even really defend it. But that's just like, I feel like Dahlia is like the exception to the rule. Like for one, Dahlia, you have like, you know, I'm having a hard time remembering like a lot of the Blades names. So like the one that has like jet boots, like Shadow the Hedgehog, or she's cool.
No, yeah, you're right. There was one that like their whole thing is that like they fight in a bathtub. I'm just like,
yeah, I like her too. Like I forgot her name though.
Like I said,
there's cool ones.
There's so many like cool blades, and I feel like some of them being like some of them are just kind of out there, and it definitely turned off a lot of people. It didn't turn me off, but it was also like kind of like we could have gone without that. But like seeing the character designs for like the early artwork we've seen right after the trailer, I think it's super cool. It's already left a lot of people speculating like, oh, is this person there's one that has like the.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just not saying anything, especially since I have friends that haven't finished either. Like
you know what?
2.
You're a smart man.
I mean,
you're a smart man.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you're gonna say, but I'm just not. I don't know how to say anything. I'm not.
No, we're not talking about that. All that aside, the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 characters look very good, and the idea that like, you know, some person was kind of like roasting the idea that I guess the main character, the whole thing is that, you know, they see him playing the flutes. And I guess what they're supposed to do is they do that on the battlefield to honor the dead. To honor the dead or the soldiers that have fallen. If you were roasting them, I'm just like, that's an insanely cool concept. That just shows that this game is gonna like tug at your heartstrings. Like,
And they all kind of do, so I can only imagine what this game is gonna do. I just think some of the character designs I really liked, and then they were just like black man with paper, and it made me laugh. He just has on a scarf, and then I was like, man, I like black people in video games. Then people are gonna make this about discourse for no reason on Twitter.com, where they're gonna be like, yeah, we represent black people, and then they're gonna. It's like what happened with Claude Fire Emblem, where people were just arguing over him for no reason because he had dark skin. I don't know. I just know it's gonna turn into something. and
It's so stupid. Like I really don't. I really don't like those people, especially
like sometimes I
with
don't like being
Pokemon. Oh my god, that's so bad, dude.
yeah.
It's
Sometimes
so
I don't
bad.
like being a black dude on the internet because then it's
Yeah.
just like I don't. Alright,
I'm
this
sorry
is
you
gonna
got bullied
sound
by the athletes. I'm sorry you got bullied by the athletes. I wasn't there. I wasn't there to stop them. I'm sorry you got bullied. Not all of us are the same. But like, die, eat dick. I'm tired of it. Okay, I'm tired
I
of
don't
it.
know.
Right? It was really
I
bad.
was about
Okay,
to say like
the discourse online is really bad.
I know that people try to act like not act like, but they say they're allies, and then it's almost just like I get that you're an ally. That's great, but you also don't know what it's like to be a black dude. It's just like we don't. I'm not. Well, no, I'm gonna say we don't want you to defend us. Stop. You don't have to act like
Oh, please.
representation.
Don't get
everywhere.
offended. Please don't get offended for me.
No,
Don't get
yeah,
offended.
yeah, don't get offended.
I definitely agree when it comes to this. I guess this is a weird tangent, but I definitely agree when it comes to like designs for black characters in video games. It's either really fucking cool, really dope, or it's just like why?
Yeah,
right. Like
and
I think
he looks cool, but at the same time, I just know there's just gonna be some like I don't even know how to phrase it because I know it's just like people get mad, but there's gonna be like some woke individual who's just like, yes, we finally have our black representation, and then it's not a black person. It's just like you don't have to be black to want that sort of thing, but it just feels weird because people get really passionate about it, and then they're not black, and so it just it feels weird to me.
Yeah,
Like it's not
it's
a
like
not a bad thing, and I still appreciate the sentiment, but it's just strange. Like I don't know.
I don't even in video games. I don't immediately gravitate towards the black character in general. I just think it's just like I go based off of like personality and stuff like that. Like it's very rare, right? That I would be like, oh, sick. He's black, or anything like that. I would pick a character based off of his skin color. You know what I mean? Like I go based off of personality and all that stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's a black like Saz, right? I think Saz is a fantastic. Like it's my favorite Final Fantasy character because it's not because he's black or because he has a chocobo in his hair, but because he's a family guy. Like he puts his family first. He wants to save his kid.
Yeah,
he's a coward, but he goes through with it anyway. And it's just like I love that. That's crazy. He goes to the ends to save his family. The fact that he's black, oh, that's cool. That's a bonus. It doesn't mean like it has to be like, oh yeah, he's black and he'll shoot himself now. Like, come on, man. Like,
I do like the representation is cool. Like I'm glad to see it more, especially from Nintendo. It's like I remember even back then, like seeing black characters in like Pokemon. I was just like, what? Like playing Black and White. Or what they did to Twin Tail, where it's just like, now that's a black character, but I hope that they don't rip that game to shreds because of that character design, because it could be cool and it could remain cool as long as people don't talk about it. So
that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. All in all, that game was a game I was least expecting to see from that direct. But it's also one of the games that has me the most hyped, and it comes out sometime in September. So that has already been on the the Choco Day 1 list. The Choco Day 1 list. I'm gonna play that game. I'm going to beat that game, and I mean, Nintendo's been making a lot of good moves lately. They've been knocking it out of the park with these directs. So far, the games that we have to look forward to. So many good games.
That's just the first half of the year too.
I know. Dude,
like not really so much Xenoblade because they were like first half of the year and then they were like September. But I can only imagine what E3 will be like because I feel like we're not gonna see Breath of the Wild 2, stuff like that till E3, and then I don't know if you saw it, but they updated the banner on Retro Studios Twitter showing like a sort of Prime 4 teaser. So we might get to see that at E3.
I did see that picture on Twitter.
Yeah. So like if we get like Zelda, Metroid, and then I don't know if they showed a Mario game or something, like I would die. Like I died last E3. Like when I seen Mario Party Superstars, I literally cried So and then they showed Metroid Dread right after, and I was just like, I was in shock. So I don't know what they'll do this C3, but I know it'll be good.
Oh my god! I'm just so excited, and then there's just like there's so many good games. You know, this month is literally Horizon Forbidden West, and Elden Ring,
Yeah.
which like I don't know if I'll be picking up Elden Ring, but like people are convincing me. But I have
For Horizon. Oh, I was about to say for Horizon.
for Elden Ring. I played, you know, me and you, we just recently played I recently played Horizon, and I liked that game a lot. There were some things that I could have been improved upon, but that game got me really hyped to play the second. And I literally tomorrow when I go to Best Buy, I'm gonna pick it up. Looking forward to playing it. You know, Kirby's excited. Kirby's got me excited. Maybe going for Mario Strikers. Mario Strikers Battle League. That's another game I'm interested. That sounds like a really fun game to play, especially with the fact that you can play with up to 8 people.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I think Kirby is like, I love Kirby about as much as I love stuff like Mario, so that's the most exciting. But I think that overall the Direct was like, I thought it was good, but it felt like almost everything they showed was just specifically catered to me. Yeah, like everything that they showed was something that I was either interested in, like even vaguely, just like I never played Advance Wars, and I was like, oh, I could pick that up. Just so it's like I felt like it was a good Direct. I know some people probably thought it was boo boo, but I liked it.
The fact that there's new new franchises that I haven't seen before that I'm already interested in, or franchises that like I saw stuff before but I wasn't really initially interested. That now I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. Like they're doing it right, and I'm very excited to see where they go with it. But other than that, I think that's pretty much that's all we got for today. It's been a minute since we've gotten together for a podcast, but just know we are coming back with some more consistent podcasts. Lord Master 95, King Kawante, where can they find you if they want to keep up with you, keep up with everything that is Lord Master?
I almost said Twitch. You're not gonna find me on there.
Oh, no.
Twitter. What is my Twitter? It's like, yes, twitter.com/lordmaster95. I actually legitimately forgot about that. And there I just talk about video games. And I am just probably not gonna finish Donkey Kong 64. Not because I don't want to, but there's been literally so much that has happened in my life over the past few months that I just don't have the willpower to do it. I don't care what anybody calls me. Sora sucks. I'm not finished with Donkey Kong 64. So,
it's okay. I know exactly.
I will never play that character in Smash Brothers. I got him on random, and I killed myself. I was like, I don't care. I just threw all 3 stocks. I was like, I'm never playing this character.
Thank you, Kawante. Thank you. And Kendall, Dr. Black Guy Gamer, where can they find you if they want to keep up with everything that is the Black Guy Gamer?
Follow me on Twitch at the Black Guy Gamer, and follow me on fucking Twitter at Dr. Black Guy Gamer. I'm never doing that again. Holy shit.
Dr. Black Guy Gamer. All right, and as always, you can find me. I am on twitter.com/ChocoTacoFGC. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ChocoTacoFGC, where you can find me either playing Smash, playing Pokemon, playing any game that I'm just interested in, you know? This episode of the Gamers Grind podcast, this does get put on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, The Gamers Grind. We get to come together. We like talking about some good ass games, you know. We like games over here. We like talking about them. We like giving our opinions on things. So definitely, if you want to support, throw down a like. If you really like us, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and everything does help us in the long run. I don't like myself either. But that's beyond the point, guys. Thank you guys again, and we will see you guys next time when the grind continues. Have a good one.